tariffs to tech to now student visa bans. Is there a sense that the U.S. under the Trump administration has a clear China policy, a clear China strategy?
So, look, I think the one area, one of a few areas in which there is not real clarity about the ultimate direction of where President Trump wants to take a relationship is between the United States and China. And that's similar to the first term. And I think the reasons for that is that under the Trump tent, there are very different views. You have some people that are very hardline, others that want to cut a deal, figure out how to make progress on trade tensions, and still others that believe we need a larger, more comprehensive arrangement between the United States and China that deals with economic and political issues. I think how that works out over time, no one knows. But I think for right now, I will try to reassure our viewers here is that the steps that Treasury Secretary Bessent has taken with his counterpart, the Vice Premier, at least appear to be stabilizing in the short term. And the worst steps, I was very concerned by the restrictions placed on all Chinese students. I think some of that has been reversed. Technology issues will continue. But I'll say one thing, Haslinda, one of the things that is dawning on both leaders recognize that the United States and China are probably the two most interdependent countries economically, commercially, strategically in the world. Now, they're both uncomfortable with that interdependence, but at the same time, it's harder to separate than both countries realize and understand that short-term challenges associated with decoupling are real. And so I think there is a truce here as well, and a desire at least to maintain a degree of stability in the bilateral relationship going forward.
When it comes to negotiations, it does seem like China has the upper hand, given that it has, a dominant role in the areas of critical minerals, rare earths. Why was there a lack of effort to de-risk in this area for the U.S.?
Yeah. Look, it turns out, Haslinda, that the efforts to diversify in terms of rare earths and other supply chains is unbelievably difficult. It began in the Trump administration, the first one. It continued during the Biden administration. But some of those efforts will take a generation to fulfill. So we are still very much reliant in key areas like magnets, which we read a lot about in China. But I will tell you this, Haslinda, I think it is wrong to say that China in this area has the upper hand. Yes, there are certain areas where China could do enormous damage to American manufacturing and high tech. But it is also the case that the United States can take actions that could really impact the Chinese economy. We are both vulnerable. We are both interdependent. And trying to choose who's more vulnerable is a difficult exercise. Ultimately, if this escalated, both countries' economies would be hurt, and the challenges would not be contained in these two economies. It would spread to Southeast Asia and other parts of the global economy.